Okay guys, so let's talk about the mathematical operations. So the mathematical operations are multiplication, division, square root, okay, squaring. So before I do that, you guys need to remember whenever I type pi, uh, pi is a built-in variable in MATLAB. So it will give you the value of 3.1416, so which is the value of pi. So whenever you want to use pi, you'll just type pi and you'll get the value of pi. Okay, so if you want to multiply something, so what you are going to do is, let us say we are defining a variable, uh, or even if you don't define a variable here, it's okay, but if you want, you can just say y is equal to, if I want to multiply, if I want 2 pi, so I am going to 2, and the multiplication is the star sign in MATLAB. So whenever you use star sign, it's multiplication 2 pi, so you'll get the value of y. Now if you want division, if you want to divide the pi by 4, so pi divide by 4. Okay, so this is how you are going to do the multiplication and the division operation. Okay, so the one very important interesting thing, now this might look very trivial, I mean we are multiplying pi and 4 and scalar and just a number, but the main power of MATLAB is for doing matrix multiplication or vector multiplication. Okay, so let us define a vector, or rather a row vector. So 1 comma 2 comma 3 comma 4, or just 3, we'll just keep it simple. Okay, I mean you can have thousands of elements, but I'm just keeping it simple here. So this is my row vector, and can you guys think how can I generate a column vector here? Okay, there are a lot of things, a lot of ways. First you can generate a row vector, then you can transpose it, or you can generate column vector by, let us say like this, 4 semicolon 5 semicolon 6, and you'll be getting a column vector. Okay, so whenever you multiply a row vector with a column vector, what you are going to get, if you just think of your basic matrix, you are going to get a scalar. Okay, so basically what we are doing is we are multiplying these elements by these elements, okay, element wise, and then we are adding it. So this is known as element multiplication, element wise multiplication. Okay, so when you type a into b, you are going to get a scalar. Okay, let me assign it to some variable. Let us say c is equal to a into b. Yeah, so you're getting a scalar. Okay, so if you just do the direct multiplication, it will show you all the elements as well. So when you multiply and you assign it to a variable, you are going to get a scalar that is 32. Okay, I mean if you can just want to verify, you can verify 1 into 4 plus 2 into 5, sorry, and 3 into 6, and if you add them, you are going to get a scalar value that is 32. Okay, now if you multiply a column vector with a row vector, that is c is equal to b into a, so this is known as the first one is known as inner product, and the next one which I'm doing is known as outer product. So when you do this, what basically you're going to get will be a matrix. If you just do this, you're going to get a matrix. Okay, if you don't understand how we got this, I would suggest you to do it by hand, and if you don't know basics about matrix multiplication, I would suggest you search it online and refer some elementary books, elementary mathematics books, and you'll find about something about matrix multiplication there. Okay, so yeah, so you'll get a matrix here. So this is known as outer product, and this is known as an inner product. You can search about inner product and outer product on Google, and you'll find some resources. Okay, now let us define a matrix of element 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7, 8, 9. So I'm defining these matrix, 3 by 3 matrix. Okay, so now let us say you want to multiply this matrix. Okay, so what you can do is you want to multiply this matrix by itself, so you can just write down A into A. So what you will get here is going to be a multiplication. Okay, so basically what you have done is you have multiplied this matrix 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 to itself, that is 1 2 3 4 5 6. So if you don't know matrix multiplication, I would suggest you to please search it online, or just search elementary mathematics books, and you'll find out how to perform matrix multiplication. And I would suggest you do it by hand, and you'll realize that you'll reach at this particular value. Okay, so now we have multiplied the matrix by itself. Now let us say we want to square this matrix. Okay, so if you want to square this matrix, what you are going to do is you are going to use this raised to sign which is there, and you are going to square it. So what you are going to get here is again this value. So you might be amazed at this point that basically when you square it, it has multiplied by itself. So when you square, it is raised to 2, it is nothing but A into A. Okay, so it has not performed an element wise square. Okay, so here comes one very important thing, very important thing in MATLAB is using a dot operator. Okay, so I want you all to understand this. This is very important. Since I am repeating this, I'm saying it's very important so many times, that means definitely is important. Okay, so suppose if you want to perform element wise square, okay, if you want to perform an element wise square, so what you are going to do here is you are going to say A. Okay, if you do this, what is going to happen? It's just going to square, it's just going to multiply itself. But if you want to square it element wise, so you have to use a dot in between. Okay, I'm giving you time to think and ponder upon it, and when you press enter, it will be a square of element. So every element, if you see, it has squared. So 1 4 9 16 25 36 49 64 and 81. So this is very important for element wise squaring. Okay, not only squaring, it can also be used for element wise multiplication. Okay, so there will be situations when you will be actually performing programming where you'll have to do element wise multiplication. So in that situation, there you'll have to use dot operator, and it is a very common error mistake that you might end up doing here. Okay, so and let us say this is a matrix A, and you want to divide this matrix by 2. Okay, so you can just divide it by 2, and it is going to be automatically element wise. So if you write it down like this, or if you write it down like this, it's going to be one and the same. You'll get the same thing.